It's 2019 and there is a bunch of new JavaScript features that are approved by TC39 Consortium and soon will become part of JavaScript standard. My name is Maksim and let's check them out. But one thing before we move to the code examples. Watch this video till the end, because in the end of this video I will show you how to be always well informed and up to date about all the newest JavaScript features. First thing we're gonna look at is Array.flat method. What it does, it flattens the array by given depth. The default depth is 1. If you use \dash or underscore, you're already familiar with this method. There it was called flattened or flattened depth. Here we have two-dimensional array of fruits, and let's say we want to make it one-dimensional. So we create new array, const flattened fruits, and we call flat on fruits array, fruits flat. And now we log the flattened fruits. Flattened fruits. Take a look at the console, we have nice one-dimensional array, flattened. I think that's great that we have this method, and now we don't have to use external libraries or invent our own wordy solutions for this simple task. Moving on to another thing you can do with arrays now, and it's flatMap. As you can guess from its name, this method combines map and flat and allows you to map through items of the array and then flatten the results in one go. Take a look at the example. Here we have an array of fruits, just like in previous one, and we want to provide them with names. Let's say we map through them, and for each fruit we take its index and get name from the names array with the same index. As a result, we'll get two-dimensional array with entries, fruit emoji and the fruit name. Now if we want to get flat structure, we just change map to flatMap. FlatMap. And now we get nice one-dimensional array with emoji name, emoji name, emoji name. String also got some makeover. Now we can trim white spaces from beginning or end of string using trim right or trim left methods. Here is the example. We have a string with a bunch of white spaces in the beginning and end of it. Let's trim white spaces in the beginning. Trim left. Let's take a look. Now it's trimmed. We've got a string without white spaces in the beginning. If we use trim right instead, trim right, we'll get rid of white spaces in the end of it. Object now has frontend method. So now you can get an array of entries. It's pairs of key and value as arrays. And calling this method frontend make an object from it. Previously we only had Object.entries that did the opposite, that would take the object and return an array of key value pairs. Next goes ability to not bin the attribute to catch clause. You have some try catch statement, and let's say you don't want to catch this error, you don't care what kind of error are you getting there. You can just omit it now and have this kind of syntax. It seems nice at first, but I have to note that it's quite controversial. And I would recommend to read an article by Axel Rauschmeier where he talks about implications of this approach and lists some alternatives. Good read, and link is in the description. Next, Function.toString method got reviewed. In ES6, when toString would be called on a function, it would return string representation of the source code of this function depending on the implementation of the engine. When possible, it would return source code. Otherwise, it would return some placeholder. And the idea that this placeholder should not be evaluatable. So if you pass this string, this placeholder, to eval method, it should return you syntactic error. Turned out that this approach was not future-proof, because you couldn't guarantee that this placeholder wouldn't become syntactically valid in some future version of JavaScript. New approach standardizes the placeholder. For example, let's call toString on is_none. Is_none toString. And we will get native code. This is the new standardized placeholder. Update for symbols. Previously you would have to call toString to get the description of the symbol. It would look somewhat like this. We define new symbol, const sim equals symbol, and we pass the description as an argument. Some symbol. Now the old way would be to call sim toString. And we get the description, but we get it with this symbol and then braces around it. Now if we call sim description, it's not a function, it's accessor, getter. So we call it without brackets. We get only the description value. Looks much cleaner, right? Now, as I've promised in the beginning, how to keep up to date with new JavaScript features. Track the TC39 proposals repository. TC39 is a committee responsible for JavaScript evolution. In this document, you will find proposals for ECMAScript standard in 4 stages, starting with level 0, strawman, where it is not even a proposal, it doesn't have any requirements to exist. When proposal gets some illustrative examples, gets champion assigned, champion is who will advance the proposal towards addition to standard, and has high-level API described, it can transition to stage 1. At stage 1, it is actually a proposal, it's not a strawman like on stage 0. Then proposal transitions to stage 2, where it has to have at least initial text spec. Then stage 3, where it is already a candidate, and its spec should be completed, reviewed, and approved. And stage 4, finished. If proposal gets to this stage, it means that it will be included in next edition of ECMAScript standard. Now just check out the repo from time to time, read the proposals, and be on the bleeding edge of JavaScript. Now like or dislike this video, subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments, did you like any of those new JavaScript features? Are you gonna use some of them? My personal favorite is flat and flat map. What is yours? See you next time.